I'm going to be showing you guys how to swap out a line. I have a damaged line on my glider, and we're just going to simply swap out the line and show you how it's done. For those people who've never seen it done or never have done it, I'll show you guys how to do it. Obviously you're going to need some lines. You need a little tool so we could unscrew the fastener. So let's try to do it. Okay. It's always important to go through your glider and check your lines to see if you got any damaged lines. And upon our inspection, we noticed that on the D riser we have a damaged line. On this wing here, it has an outer sheeting and an inner sheeting. So you can see right there, you got caught, I believe, on the prop or something, and cut the outer sheeting of the line. Not a big deal. You know, you could still technically fly with this, but you want to change it though to make sure you have a nice strong line. So let's swap it out. What I want to get you to pay close attention to is when you're swapping out your line, it's important to, let me just fix this strap here. On your carabiner here, you will see that this line is, get this nicely organized. There's 3 lines going to your glider. 1, 2, 3. And it's important to pay attention to the order of the lines. So I have the third line that's damaged. So right here, the third line, which is this one, is damaged. So it's important when you swap this line out that you take all the lines out, 1, 2, 3, and then you put it back in the same way. So you don't put this line back up to where, you know, in the first position. You want to leave it the way it was from the factory on the 3rd setting. So what we'll do is we will take all the lines out and lay it down and make sure we put it back the way it was. Now you're going to have to push this in. This is basically kind of like a safety, so this cannot unscrew by itself. Put that on there. You just got to push it in until it comes out. And don't lose anything. And you want to unscrew that. Before that, I'm going to get the right line for the glider. Bunch of lines here. Always a good idea to stock lines, just in case you ever cut one, and you can quickly just swap it out. Hard part will be taking one of these guys out. Got like a chicken right here. This is a real mess. Come on, I just need one. Jeez, you gotta fix all these lines up. That's a knot. Whoa. Always make sure you pack these things away nicely. Otherwise, if you need to get a line out, you're gonna have one big knot on your hands. These things all individually, because this is what happens. Okay. Got it. You want to grab this line that I just took out, Carmen? I'm just trying to make sure that it's the exact line. I didn't mix it up. It's not longer. Just put it right to the carabiner. Does it match up?
It matches.
It's not longer or shorter?
Nope, not longer or shorter.
Okay. So, important to make sure you're actually putting on the right line if you have a bunch of lines. You know, you don't want to be putting up a shorter line on there. That would cause a lot of problems. Or a longer line. So we check that this is the right line. We leave this one out here. And it doesn't matter which end you choose, because basically what happens, it's a loop system. There's no knots on the glider lines. It's all done by loops. This way you never have to worry that one of your lines are going to get you know, untangled or anything like this. It's the best way to do it because it's all looped. It's self-tightening all the time and it'll never get undone. So now what we do is we go back and we're going to, usually these things are on tight, so you're going to need plier to loosen it. Loosen that up. Just lay out your riser nicely so you see what's going on. And remember that this was the third line in the set here, so it was the last line. So what I want to do is I'm going to take these out. I'm going to put this here. This is the first line. Okay. This is the second line. Very important you also do this in no wind so you don't mess it up. And now I'm going to take the damaged line out, the third line here. So you can see, if you look down, all I got to do is come to the glider. Come here, this here. Make sure you don't mess up those lines when you're walking. And just unloop it. Now that's sometimes easier said than done because they do loop pretty tight. You just gotta work it out. Work that loop out. Eventually it'll come out nicely. Make sure when you're doing this, you don't accidentally run it through another line, so keep it nice and separate. Okay, so now I'm unlooping this damaged line here. And over here there's three lines that go to the glider. It's very important when you're putting it back, the other line, that you loop it through all three lines. I know it seems simple enough, but you know, if you're not careful, you can miss one of the lines a lot quicker than you think. Okay, leave that out there. Okay, now we get the other line, put this one away. Come back here. Grab all the three lines here. Get these guys here. Make sure they're nice and straight. Go through. And then once you go through it, you got to bring the other end of the line and loop it through this loop, through the line that you're just replacing. So I've looped it through all three lines on the glider. Now I'm looping it through this. And then you just come around, all the way until it's looped. So it's looped, and you got it there. just like that. Now it's looped. Never come undone. And now simply we just go back to our riser. Okay. Now again, this will, I laid it out here. This is the first one, the first line, second line, third line. So this was the third line, so I'll put this one in first. First, second, and third. And now they're in the correct positions, and I haven't like changed the position from factory settings, which is really important to do, not to do, right? So now, give that a tightening. Make sure it's nice and tight. Can't come undone. Okay, then you can also put back the safety for it. Actually, won't do that way. There it is. There you go, guys. That's how you change out a glider line. Just take your time. Make sure you don't change any of the settings of how the line order was. Very simple. Looped it through. We can go and double check. Make sure you haven't run this line accidentally through the other lines as you were doing it. Make sure all three lines here are looped and everything is good. Line is changed out. That's as simple as that. Really easy to do. I hope this helps for new beginner pilots that never done it, and now you know how to do it. For more tips, check out flyiparaMotors.com. Stay tuned.